Good afternoon, sports fans. NJ Ladies Hoops here, live in Rumson, New Jersey. Please introduce yourself, young lady.
Hi, I'm Sarah Hughes. Go to Manny, which is in Tinton Falls, and I'm 2023.
2023. So where's the ocean?
Literally like 5 minutes away, like that way.
Have you spent your whole life here?
Yep.
Are you you and your family, you're beach people?
Yeah, we go to the beach every day over the summer. Walk, bike, drive. Driving's a little crazy, but.
So Sarah, how old are you again?
I'm 17. I just turned 17 like a month ago.
You driving?
Yep, driving.
Wow, you got your own wheels?
Oh yeah, well, right now we're figuring it out. I'm driving my mom's car.
Yeah.
But my mom's driving my uncle's car, and so we're waiting.
Are you driving to school?
Yeah, I'm driving to school.
Wow.
Track, everything's fun.
No, so you're a basketball stud, and that's why we're talking to you here today. But
Yeah.
you do other sports.
Yeah, so I do track in the spring just to keep myself in shape. So that's pretty fun, but it's not really my passion. It's mainly just stay healthy for basketball. But
Let's talk about Ready. For people that don't know, what kind of school is it? Is it a public, private, Catholic, independent? What kind of school is it?
it's a private, pretty small school. There's like 90 in a graduating class.
That's small.
Yeah, it is. So, like student to teacher ratio is pretty small, so you get to like know your teachers pretty well, and you get to like have a personal relationship with them, which is pretty nice.
Secondly, so you have how many siblings you got?
3 older brothers. Yep.
And so if you're 17 there, are they within like decades of you? Are they close by?
I got a 25-year-old, 24-year-old, 21-year-old. So we have 8-year, 7-year, and 4-year.
So growing up, they were always around.
Yeah, growing up, once I got in high school, that's when they started leaving. But before that, it was pretty, tight knit.
Now, did you guys form alliances?
Yeah, if you tell your brother something, they're not going to rat you out if you make an agreement. Maybe you do some bribing.
Sounds like Survivor.
Yeah, actually, it is.
So does that? Sarah, I've always known you as. First of all, I always think of you as a regular person. Even though you live in a haughty-toity world, never haughty-toity. Hard-nosed, tough, competitive. I guess having those 3 brothers might have helped with that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta compete for your words in the house. If 6 people. Well, I lived with my grandparents, so 8 people, and you gotta like compete for your time to say things, and even food. All the food's gone in a snap if you're not ready.
Yeah, especially like leftovers with boys.
Exactly.
Yeah, they'll go down at 3 o'clock in the morning and they'll eat the piece of cake you've been waiting to have the next day to take to school.
Yeah, so you gotta fight for your food and shower time. You would get home from something, you'd all be sweaty, and you just sprint to the shower so you get the hot water. But yeah.
Very cool, very cool. Do you remember being initiated into whether call it games or sports that were more boy oriented than maybe when you'd say to your friends, "Oh yeah, I played rugby today," or I don't know what.
Yeah.
Anything like come to mind that would maybe non-traditional girl sports?
Yeah, football for sure. That's a classic.
When you say football, are we talking tackle or touch?
Tackle.
Good.
Yeah. It started becoming touch when I got more serious with basketball because my parents were like, "Oh, don't hurt Sarah."
Okay.
But yeah, it was tackle ever since I was little. Front yard, Thanksgiving, any day, you just throw the football on the turf. My brothers don't really hold back, so you get some grass stains on your clothes.
And no biggie.
Yeah, no biggie.
No crying to mom.
Yeah, no, definitely not, because then you'd get made fun of.
Yeah, and they wouldn't invite you to play the next time.
Exactly.
And I mean, you like playing late night games of kick the can or hide and go seek or man of war or whatever these things are.
Yeah. What is that game called? It's Manhunt.
Manhunt.
Yeah. So cousins come over. It's a whole big thing. You play Manhunt. You hide. You gotta find. It's pretty scary. I'm not gonna lie, but it gets intense.
So the name of your property here, you call it Pebble Hill. You're kind of up on a hill. There's a lot of cool places to hide.
Yeah, exactly.
This is an interesting, fun property.
It gets very intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably can have kids hide and you can find them like 3 days later.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Well, so was basketball always your thing growing up?
Yeah, I started playing since I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
Started playing because I saw a movie called High School Musical. Really liked the main character. It was just, I guess, a passion from the movie, and it started from then.
and playing ball. So let's take a step back because you're the first one in the 2023 season, and I'm honored to have you here, Sarah, because I've been following your career for 5 years, and you put everything into it. You put everything into it. But I got to give this prep. At Randy, who's your head coach?
Caitlin Lenny.
Of the SJV fan.
Yes.
Saw her winning her TOC. She was a killer.
Yeah, she was.
I don't know what she's like now. I'm not going there. But she scared me. And she went to Fairfield, right?
Yeah, Fairfield, and then coached at Fordham.
Right. I mean, she's no messing around.
Yeah.
Actually, and then you play AU for?
Sure shots under Mary Beth and Lauren Bullard.
The niece.
Duo. Yep.
Gotcha. Very good. So what elements of the game do you love the most and why? Let's talk basketball. We got to get right to this.
All right, I'm going to go with competitiveness and honestly winning. Just in practice, in games, it's no fun just to be doing something to do it. I like trying to beat other people, leaving it all out there, especially when you're doing drills and you guys start fouling each other a little bit and it gets a little heated. Like, I just love that aspect because it shows that like people are passionate about it, and there's nothing like getting that good win, especially when no one expected it. But like my coach says, I realize that I agree with this too. I hate losing more than I like winning.
Yeah.
So if I lose a game, that I really don't like that. But and winning's all right, but competitive nature for sure.
You ever thrown a chair across the court or kick the dog or
No, I don't think I've ever had one of those like blow up moments.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But the competitive thing is really an important piece.
Yeah.
You're talking about going to college. This is the college coach. This is their full-time gig.
Yeah.
You think you want to win?
Yeah, exactly. They're getting paid for that.
Yeah. Shout out to Shaheen Holloway, doubles his salary overnight. Winning. And this is where they get their benefits, and this is big time.
Yeah.
This is big time. And you play AAU, you're doing all those kind of things. From those things that you talk about winning or competition, any kind of examples that you can share that kind of separate? I mean, other kids say this kind of stuff too. Convince us.
I'm gonna go with Ranny practices. Even last year, when we start playing live, there's no out of bounds. You call your own fouls, so it gets people start throwing each other into walls. But at the end of the day, we all put that aside and we're all friends. But when we're in it, it's really tough, and I love like elevating it to that level, honestly, because it makes everybody so much better.
But I mean, that's fascinating insight into Randy. But does that come from Coach?
Yeah, it definitely comes from Coach because she definitely made sure that we pushed each other to that level.
That's a fair point, and no disparaging on Randy, but they had a team that just kind of moseyed along, like most teams.
Exactly.
And when Coach Linney came in, it was like, game on.
Uh-huh.
I'm not coming here. She's a teacher there as well.
Yeah, math teacher.
But she's showing her. I remember, like I said, playing in college, just a ruthless player.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not a nice word, but
no, for great. Sure. I mean, she even said that herself some practices.
Yeah.
She was going back to her high school days and making sure that we played at the same level.
Yeah, which is SJV. That's high.
Yeah.
But that they also would bring in other players that understood this, and I mean, you guys really are coming quite along.
Yeah.
And whatever college team you end up on, what do you think you'll be contributing to that team as a whole person? Not like scoring points or that kind of stuff.
I think, honestly, like, I'm giving it my everything. I am consciously, like, thinking about things even, like, off the court. Before games, I'm, like, really trying to mentally prepare. But also as a teammate, I love the family aspect of basketball and, like, being there for your teammates when they need you or them being able to support you. That's like something that I really love and enjoy. So I think that
Sarah, can you take it a little bit further? I mean, I do these interviews and I hear lots of those kind of niceties. Can you give some examples of anything? Just kind of like a coach said to you or parents said to you, or it seemed like no one's ever done that before, like
yeah, so
to make you separate.
Especially in New Jersey, everybody kind of knows everybody. So even if you've trained with someone like once or twice, you call each other by each other's names. You ask like how people are doing, and you like actually care for each other. So, like, some people from US Hoops or Hoop Group, you're already like kind of like best friends, and all you're doing is playing basketball with each other.
Well, it was kind of like, what are you going to bring to your team as a whole person? What is Sarah Hughes going to be bringing to X University?
Yeah, so I mean, this one's a little silly, but I definitely have the music under control. Every team that I've been on, they've always asked me to connect to the speaker, get the music going before the game, get everybody hyped up.
Do you do the mix list? Do you get pick the tunes?
Yeah, I make the playlists. It's very.
So
very
let's
fun.
talk. Let's explore that a little bit. Where'd that come from?
My family's very musical. We all like play instruments and stuff. So.
Whoa. You play an instrument?
I play around with the ukulele. I play a little piano, but I mean nothing very serious. But yeah, my whole family.
Ukulele. Is that Tiny Tim? I'm way back. I'm going back 50 years.
Yeah. But
who plays the ukulele?
I
mean, I think I've seen that in some bands.
Yeah.
Isn't it like a small little?
It's a small little guitar. My older brother was interested in it, so we got it for Christmas, and then he never used it. So I was like, I'll try it out.
And you like it?
I kind of like it, yeah.
And you play the piano?
Yeah, I play around with it a little, but I'm not like fluent.
Right.
Yeah.
But do you like? Does the family get together for like a hootenanny ever?
Yes, for sure. Like at every holiday break, we have little jam sessions. It's pretty fun.
That is gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
I hope for your sake of your family and your future, you tape them.
That's honestly a great idea. We never have. Actually.
I mean, just to keep it like, because no one will believe it, sort of stuff. Like 30 years, and you'd be telling your daughter, "Yeah, we used to do that." No way, Mom.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
to see you like, oh. Okay. So then, how did your teams, whichever teams you're on, know that you were the music mama?
Okay, I don't know how, but everyone always asks me, like, even if it's a new team, they say, I feel like you have good music. I'm not sure where that comes from, but I guess I just give off that vibe.
Yeah.
But maybe it's also just because, like, before games, I hype people up, so they think I got good hype music. But, yeah, I'm the
So when you're
go-to
hyping
boss.
kids up before the games, you're overt about it. You're not doing something like doing mantras in the corner.
Yeah, no.
You're way out there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get everybody riled up, like, clapping. Yeah.
Now, help me out as an old dude that I am. First of all, I actually do enjoy the feeling of rap music.
Like the bass, yeah.
And just the music, the tone, the energy, okay? But I'm in the gym sometime and I'm hearing new words.
Yeah.
What do you do there? Like, do you have to edit what you do before you put it out there, or you just go for it? Nobody cares.
Yeah, I just find the clean versions of everything just to.
Oh, there is such a thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if there's not a clean version of the song, I just skip it. I try to find something else. But.
So, but this is part of your homework assignment. This is in your list of things to do in the day.
Exactly. I have the pre-game playlist for like home games before the when we're warming up. I have the band playlist. I got the locker room playlist. They're all different vibes.
New knowledge. Sarah Hughes. Hey, so college, that's really important. I mean, our tunes are, to young people, it's really important.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What is your number one offensive skill, defensive skill? Let's just leave it at those two.
All right. Offense, I'm going to go with my IQ, I think. My decision making is pretty good, especially being a point guard. It's pretty important. And defensively, it's a little strange because I'm not very tall, but I'm good at reading the ball when it goes up, so I get a good amount of rebounds. Just because I'm able to tell when the shot goes up where it's gonna land and who I'm supposed to box out.
Yeah. I mean, you really are that kind of intuitive basketball player. You're short. I'm sure you can jump okay. I'm sure you can run a decent speed. But you don't have a physical sort of gift that a lot of kids have. But you put it all together in a package, and your recipe comes out. Let's just say it this way: you're watching a game, you don't know who Sarah Hughes is, and you're like, "Who's that kid? I like watching that kid."
Thank you.
Do you remember when you were 8 or 9? Maybe you go across the street and watch a Rumson game or an AAU game or something. Do you remember a player that kind of had that kind of chutzpah, the Hughes chutzpah?
Maybe it's just because I've always grown up in Rumson, but Tori Hyduke.
Oh.
Yeah. You show up to a RFH game and you can't help but deny that she's great.
Yeah, she is tough.
especially in Rumson, everyone knew who she was.
Because
so,
of her sister.
Yeah, you kind of just exactly. She was town like royalty.
Yeah. But she left on the court like you do. That's a really good one. I really like that one. Another, assuming I'm a college coach and I have one slot left, Sarah Hughes, convince me why I should slide this contract across the table and have you sign it at the school you want to go to.
I'm gonna go with. This is also a generic answer, I know, but my hard work. And my heart, honestly. A lot of people, they are doing things just because they've done it their whole life and they know that they're pretty good at it. But I have such a passion for this game that I'm going to be doing things to help myself improve and help the team improve that I actually enjoy. And enjoying something brings so much more to the table, I think. But also, I'm very coachable, so if you need me to play a certain role, I can play that.
Let me give you on a backhand compliment, forward compliment. So here, to me, you're like a regular player until you get on a court. Over the years, I've heard various AAU coaches say, I'm going to get Sarah Hughes on my team and build a team around her. And I'm like, huh? It's not like you have an older sister that has, Brianna Stewart pedigree, or you're 6'4", or you can tomahawk dunk, or Stella Clark buzz around the court. You're just, to what you're saying, the coaches, you're highly coachable. I bet I have at least 3 coaches that said to me, I want to get Sarah Hughes on my team and build my team around her.
Thank you.
Well, you did.
I haven't actually, yeah. I haven't heard that.
You triggered that to me, and I remember that. I remember sometimes like turning my head like, Sarah Hughes, no disrespect, but like,
yeah, that's.
But
fair.
then you understand what a coach needs.
Mm-hmm.
You build it from the inside.
Yeah.
And you got to build it to replicate them. And you clearly you mentor and exhibit and do those things that coaches want you to do to lead the others. Can we start academically a little bit? Can we talk about academics?
Yeah, for sure.
So, how long you all 3 siblings went to college?
Yes.
Like, do you remember? Were you always going to go to college?
Yeah, I think that just like through my family, it's always just been in the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't really considered not going. But yeah.
Can I just make a quick left-hand turn? I'm famous for doing this. Family. You had some interesting other people living in this house besides mom and dad and siblings. Who else lived in this house for a long time?
Yes. I lived with my grandparents for basically my whole life until like they passed away. But that was.
But even one of them
experience.
passed away within the last couple of years, even. So I mean, 15 years. You had a grandparent in your life in this house.
Yes. Yep.
Go ahead.
So multi-generational family, very unique. Friends would come over. My grandpa would come in the room, and they'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know you lived with your grandpa." But that's just something fun.
But it is definitely different and unique. I mean, people can have close relationship with their grandparents, but then the grandparents go off do their own life and send the kids home, the grandchildren home. So it wasn't like it was a treat to see grandma and grandpa.
Yes,
exactly. They're part of the.
Yeah, it was the daily routine.
Yeah.
You wake up, when we were little, my grandpa, he would always, he would say, it's breakfast time, and we would all come down from, like, hanging out, and we would eat breakfast together at the breakfast table. So, yeah, that was a fun experience. But also the dining room table, we ate dinner together every night, had some good combos.
Can you go a little bit deeper on the conversations? What are you talking about?
Lots of, like, deeper conversations, debating different stuff, like world conflicts and some, like, philosophy things, like what is right, what is wrong. Like,
you talk about this at the dinner table.
Yes. Lots of different things. I don't know how we get to the places we do, but I think it's because my family doesn't really like small talk, so we just kind of, like, get right into it.
Like, do you remember being at the dinner table for, like, more than 20 minutes?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, we would never have a dinner less than 20 minutes. We would be talking for, like, an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
And talking about local politics to international issues to social concerns and issues?
Yeah, exactly.
And do you remember at what age you felt you had the words to say to contribute?
Yeah, it took me a little while to get there. I think around, like, 12 maybe, I finally had the confidence because, everyone had a lot more education than I did.
Yeah.
But I think I finally, like, found my voice and was able to find little spots in the conversation I was able to interject and try to make a contribution. So.
I love it. I love it. That's a great. And your grandparents would contribute right along.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, were your grandparents like immigrants?
Nope. They are very American. Family's been in America a very long time. Ninth grade aunt is Martha Washington. Fun fact.
Whoa. Say that again?
Ninth grade aunt is Martha Washington.
All right, bye-bye.
Seriously?
Yeah, well, I took a ancestry DNA test. I spit in a little tube.
Yeah?
And that's what it said, so I guess so. But,
She was a tough lady.
yeah, for sure. But, yeah, they're like Irish and English, if you would call it, but since I've been in America for so long, I would just call them American.
Isn't that something? What has been your biggest basketball obstacle, and how'd you deal with it, and where do you stand in that process of that?
So, I wouldn't say there was a specific moment, but throughout my entire basketball career, I've kind of been, like, overlooked. So, trying to try out for certain teams, making the B team, or someone saying maybe I should try a different sport just because I'm not as tall as other people. But I've always had to, like, work a little extra just to stay in the game because I guess something about me just makes it, I'm kind of like the underdog, I guess.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You are. Do you find it interesting that, so basketball, which is obviously your number one love, you have to be reliant on not only a coach, but a number of other players to help you realize your dreams or not realize your dreams, successes and all that. And then you do cross country, or no, you don't do that anymore?
Not cross
But
country.
track, either one.
Yeah,
But those are pure, you're a runner or a thrower?
runner.
Okay. So it's on you.
Yeah.
You can't blame me sitting up in the audience, Do you find that's really a different set of goals and accomplishments because one's all you?
Yeah.
How do you meld the two of those?
I'm gonna be honest. I honestly really like the team aspect better because you always have someone that's gonna help you out. No one's actually perfect. You're always gonna make a mistake, and if you make a mistake in an individual sport, no one can really help you out. But in basketball, if someone makes a mistake, you're there to help them. You make a mistake, someone's there to help you.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe also coming from a big family and an extended family. Because I think when I met you, I knew just a bit about of course I knew your basketball piece, but I started hearing about your cross country. In middle school, weren't you pretty successful?
Yeah, I run the 800, so, I mean, just by that, no one really likes running the 800. I don't know why I do, but I just do.
But didn't you also, win or do well in a cross country meet?
Yeah, I made it to the Meet of Champions, so
In cross country?
No, in track. Oh,
track.
well, yeah, also in cross country.
You made it to the Meet of Champions?
Yes.
Whoa.
I placed third in track, but that was just Monmouth County, so.
Okay. But I mean, the thing with track and all those things is you can push yourself and see a specific accomplishment. My time is, what's your time? What's your best time?
2:35.
2:35. But at some point it was 2:55. And then you went to 2:51. That's me. That's me. Remember, I worked hard over the weekend. I didn't go to that party. I ran in the rain, whatever it does. But it's cool that it all comes back to you are definitely a team player. So track and cross country and all that, they're niceties. They're not part of your college plan.
Yeah, no.
No, you were all about the sort of team thing. Can you imagine yourself being a player coach? Would that be the greatest ever?
I mean, honestly, yeah. Right now, I'm coaching a 5th grade team. It's a mid-Monmouth team, so it's like a little organization where towns play towns. And I'm coaching it with my other friends who play basketball. And getting to know that side of basketball, it's so much fun.
So you're not doing it with an adult?
My dad's like...
Security.
Yeah, he's like the name on it,
right.
But we're like head coaching the games and the practices. But getting to know that side of the game it's so much fun, and like I've honestly considered like coaching in the future.
Yeah.
And it helps me as a player too, because now I understand some of Lenny's pains, like saying the same thing over and over again, and the team not getting it. But yeah, being a coach is definitely a lot of fun.
Have you heard any chatter from the parents in the?
Yes, definitely.
They give them the evil eye.
Yeah, Yeah, there are some dads who they love giving their thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. That's great you're doing it. I remember coaching at a very young age. I wasn't good at it, but it was very insightful and helpful. And like just like almost sitting at those dinner tables and seeing big people talk.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing a big person role. I don't care that you're 17 years old. I don't care what the level of the team is. Mid-Mountain actually is pretty competitive. But to be the head coach, it's not easy.
Yeah, exactly.
And those girls are looking at you.
Yeah.
They are really looking at you. Who's your greatest basketball influence and why?
Greatest basketball influence, I'm gonna go with Jimmy Butler.
Seriously?
Yeah, I saw a video on him one time when I was younger about his whole story, and I felt like it honestly, like, it really resonated with me just because I feel that we share the same experience of like being overlooked and just having to work like 10 times harder.
Have you ever taken the SATs?
Yes, I took it once in December. I got a 1360, and I'm taking it again in May.
Wait, 1360?
Yeah,
I never saw 4 digits. That's pretty darn good.
Thank you.
That was the first time you took it?
That was the first time I took it. My family, we just kind of, the first time we take it, we try not to do a lot of prepping just to see where we are like naturally. And then we do studying like the next time, just like buy a book and do some test prep, and then take it a second time just so that we know where we are and like we have a goal to like strive.
I love the talk of we.
Yeah.
Team Hughes.
Exactly. Like, we're all in it together, you know?
That's a beautiful thing. That's a heck of a number. Now wait, is that the highest all time in the Hughes family?
Unfortunately not, but that's why I'm taking it a second
Oh,
time.
so you want to take somebody out?
Yeah, it's competition.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta try and get
Oh,
above the bar.
speaking of competition, so you were the only girl, you were the youngest girl.
Yep.
Did you have to battle for food?
Yes, exactly. Dinner's made. They say it's dinner time. You gotta run to the kitchen so that you can fill up your plate, because there's basically no seconds. Everyone's just filling up their plate. Any times there are seconds, they're gone in like 30 seconds.
And like for fighting over the clicker?
Yes. No one knows what TV show. I'm the only one that plays sports, so when I want to watch like some athletic game, they're like, "Oh no, let's watch a movie instead." And I never really get to watch because I'm the youngest and I'm the only girl.
Gotcha. But I'm sure you've won a few battles.
A couple.
And you
yeah.
put probably some alliances together.
Yeah,
We were
exactly.
talking about that.
Yeah.
It's really impressive, this whole package that you got. What is the basketball skill you're working hardest on right now that maybe were you in short shots last year?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you came back in this year, the team, the coaches, whatever teammates said, whoa, Sarah's been working on.
I'm gonna say my on-ball defense. A lot of the times in the past, I'm able to defend the guard, but I'm playing a little back from them, and so they don't beat me, but maybe I let up some shots. So now I'm trying to work on like getting up on the ball and pressuring it while not letting them dribble past me.
Gotcha. What are the 3 things you're looking for in a college basketball-wise?
I'm looking for a committed team. There are some teams that I know of, like not even the college level, but people show up, but they're not like mentally there. They don't have that like that grit, that like drive. So definitely a committed team. That like winning culture, I guess. Like the culture of the team is really important to me. Everyone is trying to make each other better, and you're doing everything just so that your team can succeed. I'm not really a big fan of just doing things without goals. So, I mean, the goal is to win.
There you go.
Yeah,
I was waiting for that one.
Exactly. And the third one, I'm gonna have to go with a coach that like has that real like passion, but not just for basketball, but for people in general. I want a coach to be able to, you know, really get me in shape for basketball. Really like tell me what I'm doing wrong, but also, you know, tell me, hey, like you need to get your grade up in this class, or like how are you doing like in life? Just like that passion.
Or they'd say, we might have the ambassador from India coming by tonight. I'd like you to take him on a tour, or her on a tour.
Yeah.
I could really imagine you're going to go places. Last thing I want to talk about is you spent your freshman year at Rumson Fairhaven High School. Very, very excellent public school. Very excellent basketball program. Made a decision to go to another school. You're not going there. So you're 1 year. So you've been there 2 years.
Yep.
But you always want to hit the last second shot or dunk in the middle of the game or this or that. You had a moment this year that you're not a person that holds angst, and I know this. He loves you, and you have a lot of friends on the team. The coach loves you, but just tell us about that game. That you couldn't have scripted it better.
Yeah. So the day of the game.
Well, first of all, are you guys in the same conference?
No,
Okay.
it was an out-of-conference game.
Go ahead.
But the day of the game, I remember being pretty nervous throughout the school day. It would come into mind, and my heart would race a little, just because it kind of felt like it was more than just a game. Like it was proving that maybe I made the right decision.
Yeah. Sure.
But then when the game, when I came in the gym.
This was your original home gym.
Yes, exactly. This is where I had,
right across the street from this house.
Exactly. Had practices and everything. I felt comfortable again, and I wasn't really as nervous anymore. I think maybe it was just because the game was getting soon, and I just kind of kicked into that place mentally. But in the game, I was just kind of it just kind of flew, and at the end of the game, we were down 2 points. No, 1 point.
Right, but let's go back a little bit early. You got hot early.
Yeah.
You're not a big scorer. You can be if your team needs you to be, but that's not your claim to fame. But you were lighting it up pretty good.
Yeah, my team was definitely rooting for me on that one. They were looking for me to get the ball. I really appreciate that of them. They knew that that this game meant something to me.
Okay, go ahead. Keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it was the end of the game. We were down 2 points with 5 seconds to go.
And at this point in time, you had already surpassed your career high.
I think so. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And so we're running this play, and for a quick hitter, and it doesn't work out. So one of the freshmen, her name is Brooklyn, she's looking for someone to pass the ball because we got 4 seconds left. So I just run by her. I'm like, you have me. And I pull the ball back. Carly sets me a great screen. I pull up for 3, and it went in, and it really did. It felt like a movie.
And it was the game-winning shot.
Yeah, we won the game. It was great.
Congratulations. And I remember watching the video because it was going, big. Sarah, just been a great pleasure sitting with you today. In a little, I hope that the sound was pretty good, folks. We had a little, there's been some storms coming around. Just a great journey. I love, like you said, you're an underdog of sorts, that you just are a hard worker, and the success that you've had, classroom, life, family, basketball. It's going to be great to watch your story continue on. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.